You know what really grinds my gears?
What?
I've been at this shiz for 10 years, okay? And if I ever see another video talking about why your manifestations aren't manifesting overnight, I'm gonna lose it. The reality is not every manifestation can manifest overnight. I mean, yes, it would be nice. It is the dream, and that's exactly why they say that, because that's what you want to hear. And I'm tired of bitches feeding into what you want to hear, okay? Because ain't no one got time for that. I've been spending 10 years on this shit. So let me enlighten you just the simple foundation of manifestation that is all you need to know. The mistakes I've learned, I have boiled down into just 3 easy peasy steps that is realistic and not feeding into perhaps a delusion. Hope there's no buggos here. Okay, so let's dive in to the myth of rapid manifestation and how, yes, it can happen, but can it happen to me? All right, because no one should have their manifestation dreams shattered. I have been there, I've been through it, and this is why it's taken me 10 years to get to a place where I'm putting action into my manifestations. All right, so here's the fact check on why rapid manifestation may not happen to you, and it's that you're really, really far away from the dream, okay? And that is what I have learned to be my case. I was extremely far away from the energy I wanted to give, the videos I wanted to make, everything in between, up and down, left and right, around the block, okay? And sure, you can be really far away from where you're trying to go and get there quickly, so let's highlight that, getting there more quickly. You need to have a clear vision, and this is going to tie into my easy peasy 3 steps. Number 1, envisioning, which we all know of. To move rapidly, you need to be very specific in your vision, but the paradox to that is the clarity of your vision evolves over time. As you work towards it, you realize what you do and you don't want and the specifics of what you really want. So for example, I've been trying to be a YouTuber for exactly 10 years now. When I first started, I was just doing it. I didn't have any backlog thoughts to that. So I fizzled out. You know, I didn't continue. I went down a bad path as a teenager, and then when shit really got dark, I realized I really wanted to pursue YouTube as a career. It wasn't until I hit rock bottom of my life that I was like, okay, I really want to do this. I really want to pursue this. And so this manifestation kind of came back to life, but with the intention of it being a manifestation, because at that point I had learned more about manifestation when before I had lightly come across it in a book. But at this point in my life, manifestation was really starting to pop off, and I was seeing it everywhere. I was learning about it very deeply, and so I just started recording videos in public restrooms because I was basically homeless. Unfortunately, those videos were extremely sad, as the context alludes to. So those videos didn't amount to much, and I wanted to pursue being a YouTuber, but I was in this really obviously unstable place of my life. And so if you are also someone that's in a really unstable place of your life and you want to be a YouTuber overnight, that's just not realistic and extremely hard for you to do, as it was for me. So this is why I don't want to hear anyone oh, this is why your manifestations aren't manifesting overnight. It's because you didn't do X, Y, and Z. No, I was just in a really unstable part of my life, and it just was not realistic for where I was at. And that's okay. And now it's 5 years later, and here I am with a nice camera, nice background, having fun, doing the thing. I realized that what I wanted to anchor to was good videos. Not just making videos, not just being a YouTuber, but making good videos that I liked and I enjoyed and that could generate me some kind of small success. All the other videos I was making, they were just honestly a cry for help. And there was years where I just didn't know what to say. And so that was a part of my manifestation for a few years. It's just give me something to say, give me something to talk about. And eventually I did, but it took a couple years for all the topics I wanted to talk about to fruit in my mind and evolve into something I could talk about. And so now here I am. But when I look back these big dreams of mine, they've been in manifestation since before I even learned about manifestation. And I guarantee that that goes the same for a lot of people that have big dreams, big ambitions. If you're trying to manifest something that is realistically like easily attainable to you and what you have, then of course it's going to manifest basically overnight. I'm really just talking to the big dreamers and the people that are coming from basically nothing, all odds against them, to what they see themselves as impossible, like the version of themselves they see as impossible, because that's how my dreams feel to me, and that's what has caused frustration when I look at these manifestation videos and they're like, oh, you just need to envision and feel, and maybe you're not feeling enough and that's why it hasn't manifested. Like, dog, I feel these dreams on a subatomic level. Like, it's not about the feeling, it's not about the vision, it's the reality that big dreams take time and you need time to grow, to evolve. Like, this manifestation has been in progress for years because I needed to be in a stable place in my life. I needed topics to talk about. I needed ideas. And then I just also had to live and like provide for myself and move and whatever and life things. So like, don't give up on those big dreams just because you're not seeing progress. I haven't seen progress for years, dog. Years. But I'm still trucking, I'm still going. When you envision, you want it to be realistic because then it feels easily attainable. So if it doesn't feel realistic for you to explode in fame overnight because you don't have ideas, you don't know what to do, you don't know what to make, then yeah, it's not going to manifest because it's not realistic. Yes, it's good to be delusional. It kind of like helps you think outside the box and dream bigger, but you want to ground yourself. Is this realistic to me where I'm at? You want to envision realism into your manifestations. So when you have like this manifestation and it's realistic to you, you can feel that. Where if you have this manifestation and like subconsciously you're like, this isn't really realistic for me, where I'm at, what I want to do, you can't feel that. And that goes into the next step out of these 3 simple steps, is to feel. So now that you know, if you have like this realistic vision, realistic to you, it doesn't have to be realistic to anyone else because no one knows you like you do, but like really sit with yourself and ask you if it's realistic to you. Okay, you have the feeling, you know where the feeling is gonna go. You can feel it when you look at your idea sheet or your college grades or your school grades. Like, when you have that realism, you can feel the reality of that dream in your day-to-day life. You can see those little tiny breadcrumbs that you're creating or the universe is creating, whichever, only you know that. That also leads me to my next point, that like people want to blame everything on the feeling, that you're not feeling enough. The feeling part is easy. Once you pinpoint down a manifestation that you can see, then you naturally just feel it. Like, you're just like, oh yes, that makes sense. Like, I can see it because it's realistic. Once you have that clear vision, it's easy. It just comes naturally. Step number 3, which is my favorite step because it's the hardest step, and it's the shit that people are not telling you and are hiding from you and like sugarcoating. And it is, girl, you gotta trust. You gotta trust so deep. You gotta surrender so hard to the trust, my guy. Like, that is the missing key. If you are missing anything from your manifestations, it's the trust. Okay, so you can have this realistic vision and you can feel it because it's so realistic. You can see it like as if it's right there in front of you because it's just so easily attainable. That's what you want, but that's a place you also want to get to if you're not quite there yet, is like manifesting to be in a place where it is realistic and feels easily attainable. That comes with such a hard trust that ties into it feeling easily attainable and you being able to feel it on a subatomic level. That doesn't happen unless you have this deep weighted brick of trust in your body, in your soul. And that also comes with time for some of us, not all of us. And that is another reason why your manifestation may not be manifesting overnight per se. It's that you haven't evolved this trust in your dreams or yourself. But if you don't have that, none of it will work. And so that's why this one is my favorite, but it's also the hardest for me, and it's probably the hardest for most people watching, and they get frustrated and they don't know what they're doing wrong, and like things are taking so much time. I've been at this for 10 years, but I didn't get this subatomic trust until like this year. And now I'm suddenly in this place where everything is realistic. Like YouTube channels are popping off left and right. I've wanted to do YouTube for years, and suddenly as I'm going to do YouTube, it's so easily attainable, more than it's ever been. And don't try to fight me on that. I've been watching YouTube for more than 10 years. Like, seeing channels pop off like this, there's been a shift, there's been a change, and it synchronizes with what I've been manifesting, which is to be a YouTuber, which is also one of many things, but it's the easiest one to give an example because like it's a YouTube video, and I know a lot of other people want to be YouTubers. This can work for many things and many dreams. Okay, let's recap. Okay, so 1 is envisioning, but like the clearest, most concise vision that you can muster at this point in time, and it is okay if it cannot happen overnight. There's nothing that you are doing wrong. Our manifestations mature with us like we do because they are just an extension of ourselves, because it is ourselves. We're just manifesting ourselves to do or be a certain thing, way, whatever, what have you. And then that brings us to number 2, feeling, which comes naturally, and the more you clarify your vision, the easier the feeling will come. You can definitely take time to meditate and sit with your envision to help you feel those feelings. Recap example. I realized recently I was manifesting to be a good YouTuber, which would then easily generate me being a successful YouTuber. I wanted good videos because good videos is what brings you success. Like, I was just making videos and I realized that's not what I wanted to manifest. I wanted to be at the point of success, and I'm sure you do too. Okay, so that's why having that vision of what you want is important, and then contributes to the feeling, comes natural. And then number 3, trust, baby. Trust. Trusting, my guy. You have to trust so hard, so deep. That is where the magic happens, because once you are locked in with trust, you are locked in with your dreams. Now that I'm in a place where I trust that I can be a successful YouTuber, I'm gonna keep grinding, I'm gonna keep doing the thing. What am I gonna do? Sit here, I'm like, oh yeah, I know I could be a YouTuber and it's what I want, I'm gonna go fuck off. No, I know that it can happen. I know it's attainable for me, for anybody. I've come such a long way. I'm in a grounded place in my life. Like, I'm gonna pursue it because I know it can happen. You have to have that knowing and really be anchored in it and practice that anchoring, because sometimes we do waver. I've had waves of trust, but practicing trust and being aware of needing that trust is what got me to the place of just having the trust all the time. So whatever you're doing, it's working. I know it's working. You need to know it's working. That's also part of the trust. And that's the only thing that people really leave out and don't see. That's something I feel like comes with manifesting for a really long time, and also being on a spiritual path, because I learned to have this unwavering trust in my dreams, because I had to have unwavering trust in the universe. I could see those things just go hand in hand. And that is worth mentioning, because more and more people are becoming spiritual. So if you can't have trust in yourself and your dreams in the moment, practice trust with the universe, that the universe, God, is an all substance working for your highest good, for your richest self, for your most prosperous self, for your dreams. And that trust will just come naturally. I swear to God, like, I swear. Okay, now that I've given my spiel, I just want to give some helpful tips that I have learned to overcome my insecurities so I could move through my blocks and get to my manifestations. And that is practicing I'm doing the thing, just making micro efforts. Like, for example, going on the YouTube theme, I would just go out or be in my room and practice making a video. And if I didn't like it, if it wasn't resonating with me or something was off, I would just scrap it. The point was to practice. It wasn't to make a video. It was just to get into the habit of making the videos. And if you have to scrap it, that's okay, because you're putting in the time, you're building those skills. That's just something that you have to do if you're starting from like nothing. If you don't know what you're doing, you have to cultivate and practice those skills. skills. And that's another reason why you can't just say, oh, your manifestation isn't happening overnight because of this and that. Brushes off the reality that like you don't know what the person is trying to manifest or do or what they're coming from. And like don't just sweep under the rug with the manifestation broom that like anything can happen overnight. It happened to me, it can happen to you. Like these people, they don't know you, they don't know what you're coming from. And that's what would really piss me off about that is it's like, bro, I have to build these skills. Like, and for me, I wanted to get to high quality as soon as I could. I wanted quality. Like I didn't want to just like make stuff and then be like, oh, it can happen overnight. Like I wanted to put in effort, have the high quality tools and build a routine so I can stay consistent, because in YouTube and anything, consistency is key. So you want to build the skills of consistency as well. And those things take time. And another thing, if something doesn't unfold for you that you've been trying to manifest, get spiritual and ask the universe to put you on your highest timeline if you haven't. But if you have done that and you're like, I'm on my highest timeline, whatever, then trust that everything is evolving for your best interest. As I said, God, universe is working through all substance for your highest self, your better self, your most prosperous self. Use that interchangeably. Whatever you need, the universe is working towards that for you if you trust that it is. And so whatever happens, whatever unfolds is meant to be, whether it's just for a lesson or a challenge or to put you in a trajectory that is more aligned with your most prosperous self. Long story short, don't get discouraged. There's so many factors that just go into what you're trying to manifest that no one can just sweep under the rug and say you're not feeling enough. Like I want you to actually manifest and get towards your dreams. But to get there just takes time and trust and a vision and clarity. So happy dreaming. The world is yours. You can do anything. Don't let anyone discourage you. It's okay that things take time. Some of us just have a slower moving life, and that's okay. With today's technology, we're probably gonna live longer, so we have a lot more time than we think. Okay, bye. I hope this video was good, or I will cry. You know what really grinds my gears?
Hi.
You know what really grinds my gears? I'm waiting for a what from you.
What? What are we talking about?
What really grinds my gears?
What really grinds them? Tell the people. Bloopers are the best part.
Scary. You say sploofers? Okay, anyway. Falls off. Alright, look at him. Stop there. Hello? What are you doing? You're making me nervous. Nice. I've wanted Ezra. I'm not gonna put this clip in. So, okay, go on. Go find more acorns. Something else I was gonna say. That's a different video. Okay. On to step number 3. My favorite. Is it slanted? Is it slanted? Bro, there's someone tying their shoe. They're freaking up my groove, alright?